Fanya, no. Fanya. Yeah. No. Okay, we'll just... there we go. My cat is here. She's very affectionate. Look. Say hi, Fanya. Hello. She doesn't like being picked up. Hi, what's up? This is Julian with the cat trying to bump into the mic. AKA Delaluz for Inflow Productions. Today we're going to talk a little bit about creative strategies, what they are, how they can help you, and how to work with them. What is a creative strategy? A creative strategy is the way in which you go about your creative process. For a lot of beginner creatives, their creative strategy is probably mostly unconscious. You are creating in some kind of structure, you are using some kind of arrangement of your creative work to come to a result. And if that's working for you, great. If that's not working for you, that can be pretty frustrating. But here comes my cat is doing all kind of mischief. There she goes. What's a creative strategy, really? A creative strategy is not just how you plan your whole creation process, but it's also about the different phases of your production creation process. It's about ordering your creative process. Even ordering your process can be a strategy in and of itself. And speaking of that, the idea of thinking about your creative strategy is also a creative strategy, because you can start reflecting on where in your process you get stuck, where you maybe need to change your approach, where you get slowed down in your creation, where you lose fun, lose momentum, lose intentionality, emotional connection to your piece. In short, it really is worth thinking about the way you do things, and then when you identified problem areas, looking for creative solutions for those problems. But creative strategies don't always have to be direct responses to problems you have. They can also just be a way to explore new avenues of expression. Oh my god, the cat is in frame, that's amazing. If you have been writing music for a while and you are trying to increase your palette of expression, you might look at concepts such as dark and light, as organic versus digital, nature versus industry. You're looking at these dichotomies, at these polarities of reality as a way to give more flavor into your work, to give your work a direction, to create again more of what you want to express. There is something to be said about figuring out which creative strategy belongs in which process, in which phase of your creative process. if you are a music producer, for example, and you learn how to layer sounds, that's a great tool. It's great to be able to do it. It's great to be able to do it in an effective way, and you can learn that on YouTube. But if you start writing a song and already start layering your sounds and maybe even starting to mix your sounds, you are confusing phases of the creation process, and you're gonna have a harder time getting to an end result. So whenever you learn something new, which is also strategy, try to implement it in the right context, in the right way, at the right time. You should really start thinking about that in the context of your creative process as a whole. You know what? Let's just break it down real quick. Like, you have a creative process. You go from idea to product, or product to idea, depending on which side of the camera you're on. And there's steps happening in between. And you want to know what these steps are. That's part of your creative strategy. That's maybe the most important part of your creative strategy. You should become aware of the steps that are in between your idea and your finished product. And then when you have the steps, you can think of the phases, which is what happens in between the steps. And then you can learn and develop strategies for the different phases, and also analyze your existing strategies for that phase. Because if you just learned how to make your art without really thinking too much about your creative strategies, you're gonna have some approaches to different phases of your process. And these approaches are often very, very rich. They're very interesting. They're very unique and creative, because you didn't learn them from somewhere else. You kind of figured it out yourself. You made your own way of dealing with that process. And my invitation is to look at that and not just throw it away and replace it with some better way, but reflect on the strengths of that process, the weaknesses of it, and try to improve upon it so you can work more effectively while keeping your artistic voice and integrity. That's about it for this one. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.